Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless 8, and this is the end of the week report for May 23rd, 2014. Tonight is May 26th, being the Memorial Day weekend. The report is being delivered here on a Monday evening. Markets in the U.S. were closed for Memorial Day observance this Monday, and we should take a moment of silence to thank our veterans and for all who have died in preserving the freedom and prosperity of this great nation that we live in. So let's get down to business here and take a look at the S&P 500 like I normally do, the leading one of the leading market indicators, and then we're going to cover a couple of the other indices and give you an idea where I think this market just might be heading. Let me just point out a couple of very, very important reminders. My forecasts, my charts, my commentaries on my predictions of the market have been, to say the least, very accurate. I'm not going to go on a drum roll here and go on and on about how accurate the moves have been on individual stocks, as well as the individual indices since I launched my service on April 15th, 2014. But I will simply say that overall, the accuracy rate has been, as I like to call it, direct hits. Now, saying all that, there are no guarantees that I'm going to keep up with my stellar performance going forward, but I can certainly assure you that I will give my 110% to take into account the ever-changing landscape in the market and to give some sort of forecast or prediction based on my experience and my observations on where the market might be heading. So that's a long talk. Now here's what it really comes down to. I did a day count on what might be happening. This is actually a weekly chart, so let me give you a weekly count of what might be happening here on the S&P. As I normally do, let me draw this chart here on the S&P 500 from the lows of October 2011, quite a few years ago. And as we can clearly see, and follow my arrow please, that despite all the negativity and the hardcore dogmatic bearish and doomsday Armageddon, as I like to call it, the Mayan landing type of scenario, the market has been heading higher. We have had some pretty substantial corrections along the way. Follow my arrow again. This one was I'm going to point it out, October to November 2011. We have had another big one from April 2012 till June of 2012, September 2012 till November 2012, May 2013 till late June 2013, late July 2013 till late August 2013. Giving you some big ones here. Here's a nice one. January 2014 through early first week of February 2014. Then the recent ones here, where we have had let's say a rolling one here from March, first week in March, let's call it the week of March 10th till the first week in April. And now we're having this move, this ascending flag here, this rally, which very, very correctly predicted and shown. So what's the purpose of this lesson, of showing this thing? The purpose of this lesson is to refute the constant barrage of comments that we get from the media regarding that we have not had any corrections or pullbacks in the market. That is the biggest untruth ever. When these type of corrections happen, now this one was from July of 2011 all the way down to first week in August, and then it came back and retested, went below. These are pretty ugly when they happen. I don't need to remind anyone that if you're on the wrong side of the coin and we're down 200-300 points on a certain day or in a certain couple of days in a week, it doesn't feel good whatsoever. You and me, we all know that. Let's just face it, okay? So the reality of the situation is that we have had, and these are known as rolling corrections, okay? As you can clearly see, but we're heading higher for now. The key word is for now. I still believe very strongly we're in an intermediate bull market, which will continue for quite a few years to come. There is a structural and a secular change happening within the global macroeconomy, which a lot of pundits sitting here in their comfortable high-rise offices on Wall Street and other places in the United States don't seem to get. There are a lot of problems in this world. There have always been. Just take a ticket out, to book a flight, go to Southeast Asia, go to the Middle East, go to Africa, and you'll see problems galore. But you know what else you'll see? You're going to see rapid infrastructure development. You're going to see 2 billion people in this world who are moving from the lower from the lower working classes into the lower middle classes, some to the upper middle classes. There's a lot of movement going on. So there's enough growth in this world to sustain us for probably for our life, for a good amount of years. So saying all that, let me point out what might be happening now. My gut tells me, and I've said this quite a few times, I've been deadly accurate on it, that we are going to basically move up to the top of this Bollinger at around 19. Well, this is a pretty optimistic scenario on the S&P of 1950. Let's call it 1948 at the top of the Bollinger here, okay? Or 1950. In the interim, as you can clearly see, this is an ascending flag. All the internals are supporting this move. McClellan is not overbought. McClellan gets overbought around 200. We are at 16.3. You can track that on your own charts. Keep in mind this is a weekly chart, okay? And weekly. We have the stochastics, fast stochastics here actually starting to break out in a big way. That means we're starting to get overbought. My gut tells me again we get fully overbought sometime by the end of this week. Okay, so let's look at pattern symmetry. So looking at pattern symmetry, I only have 2 minutes on this video. Look at this move here. This is similar to what happened here. Okay, follow this arrow here. So this sharp breakup. This is where the shorts get toasted because nobody believes, and this is what the market does. So we have this reversal doji here, reversal candle, and then this move lasts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Okay, so this one we don't have a candle yet. My gut tells me that if this moves up, we're going to get this type of green auto candle trigger that shows up on my screen. I don't put these just come through the system. So if this comes up here, let's say by Tuesday, Wednesday, then we're going to have a follow through of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 4, 5 weeks. So that brings us pretty much into the latter part of June. Pretty optimistic scenario, but anything can happen. In the meantime, keep your powder dry. Don't get short too fast, too quick, just because the market intraday pulls back 30, 40 points. I believe there's money to be made going to the end of the month window dressing, portfolio rebalancing, where fund managers basically try to spruce up their portfolios by putting in the fast-moving winning stocks in there to show. So those are the ones which keep on moving. Okay, so looks like we're headed higher this week. In between, we could have some real chop intraday. We have had very strong move here in the futures right now. We're seeing. We're futures up futures ES is at 1904 almost, and all the